Welcome everyone to Circle Up, a Mizzou basketball podcast where we take mid-range jumpers, shut up nerds. I am joined as always by Curtis and Michael, as we always are here to talk about Missouri basketball. Curtis on the keys, Mike with the stats. Let's chalk it up like a fresh smoked pork butt. So first I'm going to bring it up is the bleachers, man. The bleachers. A few days before the K-State exhibition, the school announced changes to seating, where they created more baseline seats, which of course are expensive, generate more revenue. You know, every athletic department needs revenue. They also said they were moving the pet band to above the visitors tunnel to provide more space for students. We're like, more space for students. Amazing. That's really nice. In abstract, that sounded really great. Then we watched it on TV and realized they had they had completely removed the students from being anywhere near the court. A massive student advantage has now been neutered, seemingly, for what looks like to be 15 seats along the baseline. So the university has been pretty quiet on it, but journalists around the program said a big part of the move was to remove the ability to storm the court and also add more revenue with the seats. But that did not stop everyone on social media and around and any fan talking about how mad they are about it. So guys,
why would it? What? Nothing you said just justified not being upset about this. You know? Can I have the floor?
No. I was going to say I think we all have a lot of thoughts on it. So Curtis, if you want to start us off, please go ahead.
All right. So I'll start this off by saying that I was not only a former Antler, as we all were, but I also was a former sports journalist in Columbia, Missouri, and so I've contacted my sources. And as of now, the only thing the university, it seems like they've said, is that they just wanted to add the revenue from adding the extra seats. They have not mentioned court storming aspect of it.
That's what I saw floated online.
But it's, so I was told, again, all off the record, I was told by local sports media that is the consensus amongst everyone. Because people had questions, and Mizzou was not talking about it. But it seems like everyone knows that is another aspect of it. How much does that cost?
500?
Like what?
500K, right?
500K. I was going to say 250, maybe 250, 500K for a court storming. We have another friend, another former Antler, who estimated they'd be bringing in around 400K. But what I will say to lead this off, again, as a former Antler that has some qualms, some quarrels, this feels like more of a Mike Alden move of bringing his name back. Mike Alden did a lot of good things financially for the Mizzou athletic department. I don't think he ever really understood the fan experience side of things. I think Desiree Reed-Francois did a lot of great things in terms of fan atmosphere, and she obviously came into a much different situation. But I think she did really well in terms of fan atmosphere, and this feels like an Alden-esque move. If anyone has anything to go against that, please, but that was my first read on it.
It felt like, so for one, if it was really the court storming was the issue, what I was going to say is the amount they pulled it back, that's bull. I don't even think we discussed if we can curse on this or not. That's bleep me if you need to on that.
I'll bleep you.
But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because you could easily have pulled them back a little bit and put up like a barrier, and that would have been enough. If the court storming was truly,
I said the same thing earlier. Yeah.
Two, at some point you have to decide as an admin what is worth more, the fan experience and the overall like how it feels to be in there. Or two, getting a little bit more revenue. I'm not disagreeing that those seats would, if the team's really good, right? If the team's good and they're actually selling the tickets, is going to be worth it. But like, come on.
It sounds like the way Mike Alden went, you know? We're winning right now, so we might as well capitalize and take a few hundred extra K.
Picture of seeing everyone standing there. And like the full from the ground to the rafters, all the fans standing there. And now there's this like awful just cut off. It looked terrible on screen.
I hate saying this, and I really do. we've been scratching and clawing to get to the level of like a lot of other SEC programs, or these blue bloods that we play, in basketball, the Kentuckys of the world, right? Like in football, the Alabamas, like we want to be there. We are not there yet. Okay. Like I'm sorry, we're not. We need every advantage we can get to help us get there. And it feels like we're being neutered here as a fan base. And I really don't understand. If they had come out, and let me say this, if they had come out and said, hey, we did this strictly to prevent court storming, because we don't want to pay that money. We want to give that to someone in NIL or something. Again, we'd be mad, but we'd understand, right? There's no explanation, to my understanding, yet, other than, we just want to sell the 2 rows of courtside seats. There's been no explanation, like on their side. And they're hiding behind this explanation. And I assume they're writing up some corporate nonsense right now as we talk to justify it. But the reality is, if you came out and just said, hey, yeah, we don't want to spend any NIL money on court storming, we would get it. We would get it. But they haven't. They're treating us like we're dumb, which is what Mike Alden used to do. And that's why I say that. So sorry for the rant, but it's been grinding my gears. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Get into it, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's little corporate-y for my liking. Nothing says, home court advantage like playing basketball in a Marriott banquet hall with, rich old alums and,
who are those seats for?
Peter Millar collared shirts, sipping, courtside Chardonnay, talking about their kids and their friends' internship programs and trying to scam each other out of life insurance and financial advising from a 22-year-old.
No, they're not trying to scam each other. They're trying to scam the students that got pushed back 4 rows. That's who's going to end up footing the bill for the, and that's what ticks me off is the Antlers and the student section in general has done a really good job supporting the team, I think. And,
it screams revenue. It's just revenue optimization. You got some schmuck talking KPIs and LinkedIn B2B sales pitches, and that's probably how this all occurred. If it was truly about student safety and or student athlete safety, then it would be all about.
They don't even call them that anymore.
Yeah, it would be. They would have done this years ago.
No, and also they would have told us.
Have,
that'd be a selling point. And again, sorry to dominate this conversation. I'm going to send it right back to Jordan, but man, it ticks me off.
Like that's the one I think neat thing about college basketball and college sports is you get tens of thousands of students support the team, even the local community supporting it, and I don't know, I just think it's taking away a genuine semi home court advantage he had there.
Just think about all the big shots of the season. If someone hits a big shot, big block, big steal, something like that, someone's always gets the shot of the student crowd behind the wall of students and them going crazy. That's every camera shot. That's every photo. That's what people think of Mizzou Arena. They think about how how those students fill out that place. They it would be just as bad if they took off the 3 rows for the students in the football stadium and just put little booster spots there too. It'd be awful.
The football seats are already far back and they've been doing something with the track and everything, But
it's at least they actually brought them a little bit farther forward. Actually,
yeah, exactly. They've been working.
They did the opposite today in basketball, and it's just how can you think about your brand, what makes it special to be in there, the advantage it brings to your team, which Gates talks about all the time, the fan advantage talks about all the time, and how much they appreciate the students, which this basketball coaching staff has embraced the Antlers. I mean, there's a video of them on Twitter bringing them in to yell at the players during free throws. They've embraced the fans.
Which we missed, by the way.
They do. Yeah, there's that picture of me hugging Kim Anderson. Yeah. So and they've done all this stuff to bring students in, and then this administration is going to go, great, it looks like we're on the upswing. Let's cut off being at the front for you guys. Sorry. It's just it's disgusting. It's I agree. It's also very McKinsey-esque. It's some McKinsey robot in there like, you know how we can boost revenue. You know, the students, they only bring in X amount of revenue, but, you know, those boosters can bring it.
But we're not stupid.
Get out of here, dude.
We're
Get
not stupid.
outta here.
We know that oftentimes like that money does come out of like NIL funds. Like we know we want to be able to recruit the best coaches, the best players, etc. And so for them to just be so quiet on it, I don't. To be perfectly honest with you, like again, as someone who's like worked in media for a decade plus, like I don't think they expected the blowback to be as as severe so quickly as it was.
They thought there would be no blowback. That's crazy.
I think they thought that they could sneak it by at least through. Because to be fair, we were talking about an exhibition game, but I texted you guys and I was like, "Wait, is this temporary? Or is this just the exhibition?" And then we looked into it, and it was clear that no, this is the plan for the entire season. So I thought that it seems to me like they were trying to sneak it by everybody.
That's like sneaking a Costco pizza under your shirt. Like what?
It's a half-assed liability insurance cosplay.
Wow.
I think what it boils down to. I mean, hey, it's going to look great on the next fundraising brochure to watch two tan couples.
Yes.
Eating
look
a
great
boiled
on the Q4, board of curators meeting. But the fact is that that's not.
They're
going to
try to take the picture in front of the student section again with that dome barrier.
Like you said earlier, of every shot, every video, every picture is that, and the one that's been going around is from the KU game last year. And DeJuan Harris is outside the 3-point line, but it's that low level from the opposite baseline shot of the student section. And again, I hate to have to disparage our own fans here, but no, generally speaking, Mizzou is not considered a tough place to play. I'm sorry.
No, Mizzou Arena is considered a tough place to play. I'm going to push back on that.
I don't agree.
A tough place to play. Yes, it is.
I think a lot of opponents laugh at
when it's full. People always talk about how loud it is.
When it's full, but how often is it full?
Last season,
not
a lot.
Enough. Last season, a lot. The fact.
Okay, don't go there, Curtis. Okay, don't go there, Curtis. I'm saying the thing that sucks is that like when a player dunks and now they're in front of the student section and they get to go ham with them for a second, or when the opposing player is shooting a free throw and the whole freaking wall's there, that's gone. It is widely talked about how hard. Now you're right. When the team's bad, when any team's bad, their home arena isn't hard to play against. When the team is good, that arena, ask Alabama last year, ask Kansas, ask anything that came in there and got their butt beat. That it was a hard place to play. So I think you're going a little bit into Mizzou misery there. That
a little bit
you to bring
for
up
sure,
here.
for sure.
Right. That's not what it's about. What's about to me is that they decided that the revenue is more important than the fan in this one, and it sucks.
I agree.
It sucks, especially the student fan that is willing to go there, 2 hours early to get that seat.
Obviously, we were there every single game for 4 years, but
through some dark times.
Through some real dark times.
I watched them lose to UMKC live. And I'm here to tell you that to punish the students who are there more than any other group of fans, disgusting.
No, disgusting. That's the thing. Those students who we weren't, when we were Antlers, and I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but when we were Antlers, we weren't even allowed to sit in the front row, to go down to the front row. We had to be, it was the 13th row, I believe?
Something like that. We could stand
Zoo
down
Crew
there.
was reserved for the 12 rows. If they didn't show up by 5 minutes before tip-off, we were allowed to move down. Mm-hmm. But that was what it was. And so we would camp out, we'd wait, and then we'd move down into as close as we could get. And now they let the Antlers, the last few years, they let the Antlers be right down there on the court. And it's great watching it on TV.
You hear
every
other teams
about
how much they get in people's heads.
The announcers, opponents, players, will mention it. As silly as they are, it's a factor, and it's frustrating that, again, Mizzou. What I originally said was that I don't think Mizzou is generally considered a tough place to play. I think we've been changing that. I think we were on the upswing, and that's what's so frustrating is I feel like this is a step back.
Fair.
We were doing better on the home court advantage, and And this is a move
sucks.
that has no benefit regarding home court advantage, no benefit regarding the fan experience, unless you're one of the 12 donors that gets to sit there with your butt in your chair the entire time as the Antlers yell over your shoulder.
Yeah, who wants to sit in those seats? You're just going to hear
Oh man, they have no idea what they signed up for
the entire time.
that is worth pointing out. Those guys, you bought the wrong premium ticket, brother. I promise you. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think our next step is we just need our next guest would just need to be one of the tenants or butlers or concierge servers that sits over there, and they can explain why the soul of the program needs to be monetized. That's
the soul of the program needs to be monetized. That went hard. Gotta pat you on the back on that one.
I don't know.
Especially right after Curtis hit the frustration vape right there. You come in with that poetry.
I don't know. I just don't. Maybe just like I'll push back with like the Curtis, the home court at their. I think we're like top 25 or top 30 for capacity for all college basketball. Like back in the KU days when they were playing at home, I bet that arena was sold out.
The rivalries against the Big 12 teams were much
out,
more
I'm sure.
much more prevalent, and I think it's been an adjustment to try to get games that the average fan feels the need to drive from St. Louis or Kansas City to, for Auburn, etc.
No, and you get. I mean that definitely plays into it, but I also think it goes on. I'm sure we'll mention we're Antlers a billion times. I'll get a little whiteboard going for tallies
we didn't mention
throughout the year.
Last episode,
but it's on par with like
I don't think it's gonna come up again. This was like a very personal.
Yeah.
I
think it's
so again. I've been yelling, ranting, hitting my vape. I apologize, but this pissed me off personally.
I mean, I think there's some correlation to like Duke and the Cameron crazies. Like
they get the side.
That's like in a perfect world. Like if I was king of the Mizzou Empire, I would, you flip flop, you put the students behind both benches, and
there was a lot of work done to try to make it a hard place to play.
Yeah.
And this is clearly a move in the opposite direction.
I mean, there's something to, walking into, a hostile environment, and even, back in the pitiful days, the dark ages of us, there'd be 52 people there, and 20 of them
were us.
But still, like, I think that's just kind of a neat. I don't know. Mizzou has something I think special with the Antlers, and I think just the
student section showed out like
in
every
general,
game last season. It wasn't just Antlers, like whole student section. And I'm saying students have been like for football, for basketball have been locked in. People have been showing up, and like I think. Because here's the thing, it's crazy how I think this is the last thing to say on it, which is Mizzou Athletics has actually done a lot of work to get fans to come back, and there's actually in both football and basketball, and there's actually been a huge outpouring. The sellouts of the football stadium, the Mizzou Arena was sold out multiple times last season too, and like the fans are responding, and there's all this momentum and there's waves, and they do something like that, which is just like bad PR. Out the wazoo. It makes no sense. It's someone who like actually doesn't go to the game in the office deciding, well, this is just the students are still pretty close. The students are still close. They're right there. It's like and I agree with you. You look at other you look at Cayman Crazies that are like split out across the whole side. They get the whole freaking side like that, and it's just like it's disheartening. It's disgusting, and it sucks.
We're not students anymore, but. I don't know how much this like plays into it, but I don't think it plays into it necessarily. But the new ticketing system, the lottery that they've been using for basketball tickets, football tickets, all that stuff. I've seen a lot of people complaining about that. A lot of current students complaining about that stuff. This season in particular, and I know that our football stadium, it was mostly football stuff, and I know that our football stadium is under construction. And there are going to have to be sacrifices made by everyone, including the students, unfortunately, there. But
unfortunately, that is a supply demand thing. There's more demand than there's supply.
And I think that is a temporary negative for a long-term positive.
Yeah.
As far as the football stuff goes, moving the student section back is a temporary negative for a long-term negative, but maybe a little bit of financial positive. But again, I would just like some transparency. And if they come out, they're going to come out with a statement at 6 a.m. tomorrow, explaining their rationale. But until then, bruh, like you guys, they tried to sneak it past everyone. That's the reality. They did not think that they were going to have a press release ready for this, like based on the backlash. Guess what? The backlash is here. People have been talking about it.
I'm wondering how mad are the coaches? Like unless this money is going directly into NIL fund for them to get more players.
Oh, is this how we got Sean Phillips? Then like, okay, fine.
We're gonna call these the Jason Crow, Tony Bryant seats. But like the to me, it's like I think the coaches would equally be as mad about this. Like I truly wonder what's going on in the background, and like. It'd be cool if all of a sudden halfway through the season they're like, "Oops," and like just fix it. But it's probably a whole season thing because they probably have already sold those seats.
But yeah, that's it. Sorry, I mean this is the most I'll ever talk. Like it just really ticked me off.
This will not be the most you've ever talked. We're sure about this. But let's
I'm gonna let you cook.
Let's take this into the K-State reaction. I actually need you guys to cook on this one. I got to watch it once. I haven't had time to do my second rewatch. I usually like to do, but K-State.
Never mind. I'm right back, baby.
You're right back in it, baby. The K-State game played the first ever exhibition, and good game. Well played. Really liked it. A lot of positive things out of that game. And we talked a lot about before. It's an exhibition. If things look bad, I mean, it could be all the coaches tinkering stuff, but like outside of the beginning, which like I didn't even get to see the beginning because my recording came in at the 14-minute mark. Whatever I was on before went long. It's not the internet. It was UTB where they record. But I read about how the beginning of the game was rough, and then I got in basically right as they turned it on and started going. But
no, I'll write it. F- it. We'll do it live. All right. Yeah, K-State preview.
No, we already played them.
I know.
Your K-State thoughts, Mike. Your K-State.
I'm leaving that in. All right.
To play me off. What does that even mean? No, f- it. I'll write it. We'll do it live.
It was all part of a bit. Okay.
All right.
Lead us off.
All right, K-State highlights. It was a great first exhibition game. It was a boat race to 100. We know Mizzou won that one. Everyone got to play. Everyone got minutes. Big believer that these exhibition games, especially against a similar caliber team, maybe offensively, definitely not defensively, gets a lot of good film for everybody. K-State can score, but they're like a sieve. They're going to give up a lot of points this year.
10 new players.
Yeah. But anywho, obviously Mizzou can score at will against subpar opponents. So these first few games against these lowly non-con games, take the over, take Mizzou team total over any alts you could find. Highlights on the offense: 54 points in the paint. Thought that was pretty impressive. Only quote unquote 22 3-point attempts. I thought that would have been a lot higher pre-game.
But they're getting the paint at will. It felt like.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Also getting to the paint, but also getting to the free throw line. 26 of 34, so that's pretty impressive.
Those refs seemed like at times they were in like peak midseason SEC ref form.
Yeah, there are a lot of fouls. Yeah. They want to try to tighten it up.
They're trying to they're trying to get in midseason form.
It's like they do that every year.
I get it.
But yeah, 34 free throw attempts. I think we held K-State to 21. So I think historically, teams shoot very well.
Yeah, 26
at the free throw line against us. So I think that could, I don't know, that was just nice to see.
For the love of God, can we get our boy Northweather a point?
He could shoot the ball too for a big. So I'm kind of
It felt like he was like making a conscious choice to endear himself to his new teammates. Make the extra pass, yada yada yada. And
he let Cruz yuck up a few for him. So
yeah.
But no, overall, pretty much exactly how I was thinking it was going to go. Everyone got to play.
Everyone got to play. We shot 54.8% from the field. I'll take that.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Yeah, another stat and note: K-State 9 fast break points. That's pretty good.
What Mizzou have?
Put me on the spot
I
here.
believe it was more. Let me see. I thought I had
29.
Yeah,
29.
There we go.
Yeah.
29-9.
I think what was cool and was really great to see was that almost every player had like a really good sequence.
Yep.
That made you go, okay, I see what you're bringing to the table. Yep. Like some players struggled overall, but we saw something out of them that's like, okay, I see what I knew the team. One, I ate my words in Jane Stone, who I was like, I thought Stone played way better than I anticipated out of him. So shouts to him. Two, that was the best out of Boat. Like what a change from Boat. Like his athleticism is crazy, but he was active. He obviously was like had a much reduced decision making tree and was just acting more off instinct, which was really nice to see.
Because he has the athleticism.
He has the athleticism, dude. And just got a little bit of sprinkle a little shooting in there. But he looks so much confident. Like at the end of the day, I have the box score up. He had 15 points, and he made a 3. Boat shoot a 3. Like that's amazing. Of course, Ant looked like a monster. That was the offensive aggressiveness we wanted to see. We wanted
Ant
to see.
Also was tied with Ant in minutes played. 2 highest minutes played, by the way.
Ant and who?
Ant and Boat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just to tie in what
which
you were
I was not expecting.
About.
I think part of it was Trent Pierce was hurt, or like not hurt, but like they kept him out for precautionary
and
reasons.
Burns. Yeah.
Burns is like they're bringing him back slowly as well, but I think I bet Trent plays against Howard. But that was just amazing. By like Ant was not willing to be that aggressive, or if he was that aggressive offensively, he would do it in like in a 5-minute chunk. But this time, the entire game, he was looking for his stuff, and he was hitting. He hit that step back that was crazy.
It was in a sequence of he had like an and one, and then he came down and had the step back, the little like pump fake jumper, mid range. It was
silk.
Low percentage, like no,
silk.
Drilled it. Yeah, exactly. Shut up, nerd. If Ant's doing that, he had the crazy finish, and then the pump fake mid range, and then Boat had a block, I think, and led to another Ant basket. So just piggybacking on you praising Boat and Ant, like that sequence right there, part of a 14-0 run, I think. Like, yeah.
Here's the thing: it'd be really cool if if Boat could actually start, because that's a much stronger defensive presence than Trent or Jacob Cruz. Even though Jacob Cruz and Trent are probably better shooters, so it's like, but if he can actually do enough to make that worth it, the offensive drop off by his defense, I mean, I would always rather start the game a little bit more clampy than nothing. And so but it showed like that he got that many minutes, and how much the coaching staff use him as like improved, which I didn't know if that was going to be real or not. First little hot take question. Are you guys worried about Mark Mitchell at all?
I'll jump in here. No, not at all.
Okay, correct answer.
I think, and Michael and I have talked about this a little bit earlier today. I was so happy with everyone getting minutes, and everyone that we, had even a tiny question mark about had a stretch where they looked awesome. And I think part of the plan was, Mark, we know what you can do. Let's see what the rest of these guys got, right?
Especially after he kind of tweaked his wrist. They're like,
yeah. Oh, man, that fall scared the living blank out of me. Oh, my God.
It's always crazy when you realize how most of the time when people fall, they can prep for it. Because when you really see someone falling who, like, their body is not ready for that fall, It looks bad.
Dude, I broke my wrist falling off a Razor scooter one time, and I've broken my wrists combined
You do have
4
brittle bones,
times.
though.
I mean, I know that, but like, still, I know how easy it is to break a wrist, and then I see Mark Mitchell falling from 8 feet in the air, you know, and it scares me. But overall, I thought it was a conscious effort by the Mizzou coaches to, like, I think they told him, hey, Mark, we know what you got. And he did get his buckets inside. He did get a couple of them. But I think they were trying to see what everyone else could do. And that was the crazy thing about this game, is that everyone else kind of did their thing, if not for the whole game, at least for a stretch, which was awesome.
Well, there's another player. I'd say there's a couple players who we have potential, like, well, not but what's, for example, Michael, what was your thoughts on Porter, Javon Porter's debut?
Oh, we're going there.
That was, it was an
Yeah. Well, to be completely frank, I mean,
don't be a Charlie.
Curtis and I talked about, I think, a few days back, and some of the other college basketball guys I talk with. I think it's just such a huge transition, kind of coming back and forth. College ball, D1 is college ball. Like, they're all phenomenal athletes, obviously, but I think a big difference playing with Loyola Marymount coming to SEC ball, and obviously we played Big 12, but still, like, I don't know.
It was different. There was more. It seemed like there was more of an adjustment from him than from other players necessarily, and he kind of worked his way in. But
I think he will. I mean, he did a lot of, like, he was still working. Mm-hmm. It just wasn't hitting. I think he's someone who, at the end of the season, we're gonna look back and be like, wow, he's a much different player than he did at the start. Kind of like Jacob Cruz. How I feel like I could see a Jacob Cruz season from him where it's like the first half, it's kind of, but then by the end,
he could.
It's
he's
like,
gonna be that role. Okay. Yeah. By the end of the year, I think that's what it is for Javon Porter is understanding his role and doing what he is needed, you know, doing what's needed of him well. And I think as he understands that and leans into that, he's got the capability to do those things.
I think he'll be more
figuring it out.
I think he's going to be kind of like an opposite of Cruz. I think we're going to lean on him more for his defensive, you know, prowess than his offense. Cruz, we're going to lean on offense.
But a good defensive body, man. I'm not mad. Again,
No,
everyone played their role pretty darn well.
I think that's also interesting. You can really tell how the transfers who transfer from other high-level schools seem like Mark last year transferred from Duke. He was ready to go first season in. Sebastian Mack, UCLA, dude, he was bulldog going in the lane. They could not keep him out of the lane. That dude was slashing. It was crazy. I wanted to check the box.
He knows the speed.
And he did miss both his 3-pointers. He did miss both his 3-pointers, but his aggressive in the lane was amazing. Sean Phillips, transfer from Arizona State, he looks ready to go.
Let's keep going. I want to save the Sean Phillips praise for, you know,
okay.
Let's save that for.
Okay,
after,
well let me move to the freshman then. Well, actually, no. Before I go to the freshman, let's go into our other player who had kind of a rough start here, Jacob Cruz, who I did argue with a friend about. He said Jacob Cruz was really bad that game. I love the haircut, dude. You have to have, if you have a white boy like that on your team, he's got to look crazy. He's got to look crazy. Georgia has Blue Cane. That kid looks crazy. Like, you got to... I think Jacob Cruz is leaning into the weird, kind of crazy-looking white guy vibe, which is a really strong lane to have on the basketball team. But anyway,
little Marshall Henderson in him.
No one's as crazy as Marshall Henderson.
No. I think that dude's still playing in Iraq. somewhere in the Middle East. He was a good ball player.
He certainly was against us.
MVP of the Iraqi basketball league. He's throwing bombs.
Simply gonna say that Jacob Cruz, his haircut looks eerily similar to Caleb Grills last year, but somehow
Grills was the full
different. Yeah, it's just a tighter fade, right?
It's just essentially
it's styled straight.
You know those toys where you would water it and it would grow like
A Chia Pet.
No, it was just Chia right here.
You're saying that Jacob Cruz has the Chia Pet haircut. That's
A little bit. Now, not like foamy, but it's like just straight up. I don't know how he does it, but it's pretty cool.
No, yeah, it's given a little like kind of a little like early Spike Lee movies. He used to do that thing.
What I do want to say about it is I had a friend who said he's like classic Jacob Cruz, 1 of 5 from 3, not doing stuff. I disagree. I thought, yes, he didn't hit the shots that we wanted him to hit, but I thought he actually drove. He actually went to the paint,
Which is what we wanted to see.
2, he was playing good team defense, and he was keeping his head in the game, because there were times last season where he would miss some shots, and you could tell he just became a complete liability on defense. This time I thought he stayed much more locked in the entire time. So that's what has to happen. And here's the thing too: we have enough players at his position that if he is struggling early, they can just put Bowden, they can put Trent. I'm not too worried about it.
It's the defensive, it's the work rate, it's that stuff that stands out to me. I don't care about the missed threes.
If you're gonna heap some praise on Charles Phillips, I got T.O. then, because T.O. showed exactly what I'm excited about.
But I think you're about to slurp this man. You're reading too much into it. Just continue it. Continue.
This isn't Fortnite. This isn't some slurp.
I don't know what that means.
The chug jug. This isn't some slurp
6'7".
juice. Okay, so watch the space. This dude is. I'm so ready for it. I think the jump potential is so there. I talked about it in our preview, but I saw it again in the game. I think his athleticism is way better than people give credit for. He hit a 3. He was guiding the offense, and I think his role as Ant's backup. I don't think we've had last season having a starting point guard and then into who's your backup and who's taking over the team when you're sitting down. Last season, it was Ant and Tony, but they were playing at the same time, and T.O. wasn't quite ready to go. And even then, I don't think T.O. was quite ready to lead the offense, even though he did have some good moments when he came in and had to.
They were different stages.
Yes,
yeah,
different stages. And then the previous 2 years, you had Nick Honor and Sean East, who were both good in their own right, but definitely had some things lacking in the game. Mostly that they were both small and could get bullied because of their size.
Both could get shut down by certain teams, which
and
is tough.
And once our team lost key playmakers, they struggled at that point. But I think the drop off from Ant into T.O. is just going to be. I mean, there's going to be drop off, of course, because Ant is is just at a different level right now. But T.O. is going to be able to replicate so much, and the defensive pressure, running the offense, making plays in the paint, it's all there. It's all there, and that feels really good to see. It feels really solid knowing that because in previous, it felt like last season when Ant sat, the whole team kind of fell apart. And I'm not saying if he sits that our team's going to fall apart, but I feel like it can stay on a pretty steady wavelength with T.O. out there, and that's just great development from the Gates staff. Now we need to see more games to see it pan out, but right now I'm excited about it.
It felt to me again in an exhibition like they're pushing each other, right? I think both of them know that they do certain things, some of the same things very, very well, and I think that they're. Both of them want to start. Both of them, they're fighting each other for minutes because they do have a similar play style. And I think that could work in our favor, because I think they're both extremely talented. So I don't know if there's any stats, and if not, just your overall thoughts on our backcourt there.
It was pretty good. Nothing glaring or alarming that stood out. I'm curious to see what the starting lineups are going to be once we
19 minutes from T.O., 23 from Ant.
Once we get into the meat of the season,
it'll probably be 28 from Ant, and then depending on foul trouble,
yeah, I'll go 25.
20, probably
we expect 25 from Ant. Yeah. Barring
I wouldn't, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised more. I mean, he's such a integral part of that.
Do we think we see both of them on the floor at the same time?
There'll be times.
Maybe 3 to 5.
Because they don't do just clears, but it'll be Ann and Max start, and then maybe Stone comes in, and then T.O. comes in, and then Ant comes in for Stone, and now it's T.O. It's like a thing where they're constantly moving them in and out. There will always be a ball handler on the floor.
We could have 3 point guards, quote unquote, on the floor, Or I think we have a roster where we could have no point guards, quote unquote, on the floor.
I think you're
we've got
always going to have
options.
to have Ant and or Tio on the floor to handle the ball because I don't think Sebastian
Mack, you don't think
that's
he can handle?
point guard's not his skill set. That's
Okay.
just not.
Fair enough.
And I don't know if like both of them get in foul trouble. Maybe they put in Rowe. I don't know. We'll see. That's an interesting possibility.
Yeah, Rowe.
Both the freshmen had an interesting. Both the freshmen had an interesting exhibition. Both just seemed like they kind of struggled in their starting and their first time in.
Yeah,
it's freshman stuff. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, they're playing. I mean, I know it wasn't a cohesive, a roster that's been together for a long time in K-State, but those are big, experienced dudes.
Rowe
wherever
going in
they've
though
been
makes
playing.
you realize how big the rest of the team is because he looks so small compared to the rest of them.
With Mark Mitchell, I was gonna have a whole hair segment prepared, regarding Cruz and then Mitchell as well. I had, it was struggling watching on my laptop trying to figure out who was who at times, like if they were in the deep corner. No, Rowe, I had no problem identifying.
He's smooth, but he's just small right now.
Yeah,
and
looked
he's a
good.
freshman.
Northweather also. Northweather, sorry.
Northweather. The Northmen.
Yeah, I had no trouble identifying him either.
Nope.
So
God bless.
Yeah.
All right, I think we end on Sean Phillips.
let's go.
You go.
You got any praise? Because I'm ready to go on Sean Phillips.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be
You were hyping
top,
him last week.
Yeah, no, I think he'll be a top 2-3 producer on our team. I think I'm really excited to watch him.
Where do you think he ranks in terms of big men in the SEC?
He got legit like 12 points. That was like.
That's.
I mean, I know there's a lot of talent in the SEC, but do you think he
I'm
can
not
crack?
ready to say
Do you think
anything
he's
on
going
that
to be a legitimate top 5 big man in the SEC? And by big man, I just mean a 5, whatever a 5 is these days.
Maybe like a top 10, top 15.
I say top 8.
I'm gonna say top 6.
Figure you got 2 big men a team. Reverse that. Phillips is not a legitimate big man in the SEC, or he's not like winning. I don't know, he's not going to be a top 10.
You don't think Sean Phillips is a top 10 big man in the SEC?
Like I said, I'm now picturing what we were talking about. As Julian, I said, I need to see more games, so that aspect I would agree with.
Fair.
I'm not going to mark my name in stone on it.
I don't think he's going to.
Julian, I'm ready to give him top 10.
I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be a massive scorer. I think he's going to have nights where he gets like 12, nights he gets like 6. But I think his presence defensively is going to be a really big deal. And I think that what was nice, and once again, it was really cool as happening against K-State, is that he actually had some moves. They passed into the post, and he had some moves, and he scored off it. Like obviously,
he passed out of the post a couple times.
Yeah, stuff that you didn't really see at Arizona State. So stuff that's they've been working on with him over the summer, and so if that development can keep happening throughout the year, I think great. I think there's going to be much more prolific 5 scorers than him for sure. But I think he's a great compliment to the team. Curtis, go.
Okay. The first half of this exhibition game against Kansas State opened with an emphatic 2-handed slam by Sean Phillips. For those of you guys watching, how did we open the scoring there? It was an emphatic 2-handed slam by Sean Phillips, followed by an alley-oop 2-handed slam.
The alley-oop was
to Sean Phillips.
Was swag.
And that's all I needed to see because I'd been watching him when he was on the floor in the first half. He was doing the defensive work. Again, it's the SEC. He's going to get in foul trouble. He's going to go up against bigger bodies, thicker bodies. He's extremely athletic. We've talked about that a lot already. But it seemed like his awareness was there on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, he was throwing down. Like when we would throw alley-oops to, insert big man that we had last year, Josh Gray. he was laying up alley-oops. And I love Josh Gray, but he did not have that athleticism. And Phillips has that. And so if he can be not even like not a liability, if he can be better than that, if he can be like an actual plus defensive player with that athleticism, and obviously a lot of it comes down to SEC refs, whatever. I'm hoping he will be, but
he'll
SEC
be like
refs is my big question.
He'll be probably one of our top 5 defensive guys.
I think he's going to have to spend a lot of time on the bench, though, because he's going to have to be guarding a lot of big dudes. But I think he's smart, he's athletic, and his IQ, his basketball IQ, at least from what I saw, on the defensive end, will keep him out of stupid foul trouble. Obviously, everyone's going to end up in foul trouble in the SEC. I think it'll keep him out of stupid foul trouble. Now, on the offensive end, we saw a couple of possessions where he got trapped, didn't know what to do. But for the most part, again, two-handed slam to open the game, two-handed slam to open the second half, two-handed alley-oop slam, right after that. And it was like, whoa, dude, welcome to the jam. We haven't seen that in a long time at Mizzou. And so just having that as an option, I was like, wait a minute. It was like that scene in Semi-Pro where it's like, wait a minute, are you allowed to do this? Is it a foul? 2 fouls. You can't just slam the ball into the basket, Jackie. That's how I felt watching Sean Phillips. It's like, we have not had an athletic big man like that since, maybe Alex Oriaki? And even then, I don't think Oriaki was that athletic either.
It's a throwback.
That's a good reference.
But genuinely, I don't know.
You're telling me Connor Vanover wasn't tossed in?
No disrespect to Connor Vanover.
No disrespect to Connor Vanover.
Connor
Vanover.
No, we love you.
If you took his stat line at just straight up for what it is, 14 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 10 rebounds, I think
that dog will hunt.
Take that every single game. So I think, he is a genuine defensive presence. I think that's exactly what Gates needed to shore up. Big bodies. And if they can score, he'll stay on the floor.
And speaking of those big bodies, got to throw Jaden Stone a bone. No rhyme intended, but that's the way it shook out. So we're just going to roll with it. Wow. I had my doubts. After, with the injury and everything, I just didn't know. And it seems like he took some time. Again, he missed all of last season, so kind of he almost looked like a freshman kind of working his way in for a while. He worked his way in. He hit, multiple threes in the second half.
He was 2 of 7 from 3, 4 of 9 from the field.
Yeah. But again, in the first half, he did not look great. I had some serious doubts. He seemed like he worked his way back into it. But again, this is his first, quote unquote, competitive basketball in, almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I was very impressed with Jaden Stone as well. And regarding size and these versatile size that we have there, including, Porter and all these Cruz. We have a wealth of dudes at the wing, this year, which is crazy.
Yeah, him and Cruz are like very on par, I think, with we touched on some of the higher end analytics a little bit last episode. I think they're very similar offensively. I think Cruz will probably get more playing time at the beginning. But I'd really like to see, Stone out there.
It's a perfect if Cruz is in foul trouble guy. Again, it seems like they've gotten depth.
Yeah,
at pretty much every position.
Yeah,
besides
yeah. To kind of correct my wrongs earlier, I was probably speaking of Stone, not Phillips. But if Stone averaging 21 at Detroit Mercy, if he averaged 21 at West Virginia, we're probably not having this conversation with him.
No, he'd be playing for the Washington Wizards right now.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm genuinely really excited to watch him play this year, and
overall, I think we can all say after K-State exhibition, we're excited where the season goes, and it feels like I felt like simmering over this roster and the potential. I think, I mean, this should be another NCAA tournament season. We're gonna get more into the preview of like what the wins and the losses we think we're going to see on Thursday. But overall, this exhibition made me excited. I hope it made everyone else who watched it excited as well. Mizzou faithful. With that, anything else, guys?
I'm gonna run through my my 5 things that I like major notes that I took from rewatching that exhibition. Okay. I'm just gonna go through all of them. Okay, so I don't need a reaction from any of them individually. Ant comfortable in possession. Stone, nice stretch. Around 5 minutes left in the first half. I think it's true. Ant, filthy in the first half. 6 for 6 on field goals in the first half. Ant, by the way, dude. 14 points.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Challenge. New this year to college basketball. Unsuccessful for Dennis Gates. There's a little Mike Tomlin moment from him. Phillips, athletic and big slams. Definitely holds true. And also wanted to give a big shout out to Boat playing this saxophone national anthem.
He did that last season. I'm not impressed with it anymore.
But come on. Have you ever played the saxophone, Julian?
Yes,
I think you have. Yeah. All right. Well, have you ever slam dunked a basketball? Because this man can do both. All right. So I am going to give him his flowers every single time he does this. All right. And those were my notes. Nothing huge, but I just wanted to make sure they all got mentioned here. You know, in case Ants or Boat or Phillips is listening to this podcast, that I'm a friend. Okay.
Nice. Mike?
Sorry.
Nothing. Got Howard
Mike did not have a list of 5.
No, I didn't. I'm not a big.
I stole them all. He had the same list.
Yeah, I'm not a big note taker during the game. Let me just soak it in. Then right after and blame my literary assistant for the foibles.
Stecklin, big soaking guy.
Dang it, Jeremy. All right. Well, guys, with that, we'll see everyone on the Thursday one for our preview of Howard and the preview of the season. Take care.